Mill ruined my first labor and delivery experience. My baby will be 8 months on July 3rd. Since I was 3 months pregnant, I had a discussion with my so about having only my mom in the labor room. My whole family lives in a different state and I come from a family of 10, while he comes from a family of 3. He was hesitant at first since he is the baby of his family. This will be our first child and that's his mom. Our baby is not my side nor his side first grandbaby. We revisited the topic again when I was 5 months. I read a lot of Reddit stories and tried to find reasons to tell him why I only want my mom in the labor room. 1. My mom will be in the room to support me as my mom. 2. It's my body, my choice. 3. Main reason, she wants to record it. Biggest red flag, when she did ask me when I was 4 months, I told her I'll think about it. I didn't know how to turn her down gently. During that conversation she even tried to show me Syl's last birth and I quickly refused and told her Syl will not appreciate her showing me without her permission. I told this to my so and his response: Mill is trying to connect with me. Anyway, I shouldn't need a reason at all. The answer is no. At 6 months, I told Mill no and my mom will be there. My due date was October 28th, however I went past my due date and my doctor scheduled me for to be induced on November 4th, Friday. I bought my mom a one-way ticket for October 24th. I had my last doctor visit on November 2nd, Tuesday, and she couldn't tell if my water broke, so she sent me across the street to the hospital I will be giving birth to test if it did. Got tested and no, my water did not break. But since I was getting induced anyways the same week, they asked me if I do want to stay. We both agreed to stay since we had our overnight bags in the car already. My labor was really slow. He'll get my mom the next morning. However, we got into an argument about having his mom in the room too. He insisted he'll tell her she can't record. I reminded him we had a conversation and he said he doesn't recall. Frustrated at this point, I agreed to no moms in the room. My water broke Wednesday mid-morning and I only dilated to 8 centimeters by 10 p.m. Thursday. I had to have a C-section due to the risk of infection. Baby born 10:51 p.m. After my C-section, I had to go to recovery room for 2 hours. So said his brother was here to see him since his brother will be going out of town and won't be able to see us or the new baby. So came back 30 minutes before they took us to our room that we'll stay until Sunday. It was about 1:30 a.m., us being wide awake BC of the excitement of our baby. He confessed it was his mom who showed up at the emergency waiting to see the baby and that he needed support. I was livid. He left me to recover with a newborn while his mom comforted him. He only confessed BC 9 a.m. his brother was coming to see us. SMH. With barely any sleep, 9 a.m. his brother, Syl, Mill, and my mom were the room. Mill was nice enough to pick up my mom. Comment. Honey, your Mill didn't ruin it, your so did. He did not respect the boundaries you set for a major medical procedure. I had 3 children and understand not wanting it to be a spectator sport. Take a long look at how he treats all your boundaries. Remember that you are a strong, powerful woman and you got this. Up, your husband ruined it? Not your Mill. Now that he's a father, he needs to man up. Tell him to grow a pair and shine up that spine of his. Oh no, I'm so sorry. This whole experience of giving birth is about you and no one else. Your so should have understood that. My Mill tried to ask my so while I was literally about to go into labor if she could come. This was never discussed beforehand. She can be very intrusive, kissing my pregnant belly, stuff like that. My so only told me about it after. I had a high fever in the morning, also had extremely high blood pressure right after giving birth. I can't imagine having the stress of having her in the room during such a private moment. Your Mill and so put a lot of pressure and stress on you that should not have happened. It was very selfish of her. Congratulations on your baby, but no way in hell would I let my Mill in the delivery room, and the fact you had to compromise and have no mums is an absolute disgrace. She was your support, she knows exactly what you are going through, loves you unconditionally, and seen it all before. The thought of giving birth in a room with people I don't want there is not an option than to leave you to see his mummy. I'm not sure how I would get over that. He's a mummy's boy, he needs to be your man, not her baby. Good luck for the future. Next story 2. Mill wants to full control to decide whether we vaccinate our baby. My Mill called husband today to ask if she will be at the birth. For the 3rd time now. To which he responded no, again. He told her that she needs to get her vaccines if she wants to be round our baby. He said everyone who will meet our baby before she is immunized will have their vaccines. She started yelling at him and stated many things. He's making her out to be a monster. He's making all the decisions. He's putting their relationship on the line. Our baby's immune system will be stronger than both of us because we've been vaccinated. She won't talk to him again until he finds the literature and sends it to her. Babies are born every day. Enjoy his new life with my mom, who's vaccinated and going to come for the birth. He's making a really big decision. He's doing massive damage to their relationship. He's really hurting her feelings by doing this. COVID is not even really a thing now. Husband was talking about Tdap, but yes, they have argued over COVID as well. Then my husband calls me, wakes me from a nap, and starts ranting like a madman. Poor guy, but also sheesh. I was napping. My baby is due in 3 short weeks and my husband doesn't have time for this. He works full-time and is getting his bachelor degree at the end of this year, along with having firmly decided to attend every one of my appointments. So on his days off, he is splitting his time between baby appointments and his senior year homework load. I can't imagine how his mom thinks it's acceptable to ever yell at him or anyone. I wish she would just grow up and realize our baby's health and safety comes before her emotional well-being. Comment. People like that never change, or even see that they are doing anything wrong. They are justified in everything they do. The world is against them. Just block her for some peace. Both you and your husband have enough going on, and she's been told no to being at the birth and getting vaccinated many times already. Tell her it's quite simple, vaccinate or you can guarantee she won't be seeing this baby. Any chance that he's told her that he isn't doing this to her, she's doing this to herself? And reiterate how completely selfish someone has to be to put a fresh to the world newborn at risk for potential deadly viruses just because they feel entirely too entitled to said newborn baby. And how would someone feel if they passed on a deadly virus to a fresh newborn and that precious little being ended up in ICU, or worse, and they were to blame? I have no qualms at all whatsoever in telling someone about themselves. Especially when it comes to babies and their safety. What your Mill is trying to do is guilt you so into relenting and bending to her will. At this point, I would provide your Mill's name to the nursing/hospital staff at your check-in and advise that under no circumstances is she allowed in. And unless she can provide vax records from a reputable doctor, no leeway. Her word is not golden in this instance. That point about a reputable doctor, I cannot agree enough. That's one thing I've really struggled with, because even if she provided medical documents, at this point I'd want to call and confirm it. She's madly gone off the deep end of anti-DR/anti-hospital. I do think she would lie if it meant getting her way. Once my husband comes home from work soon, I'm gonna give him a chance to peruse the comments here. I'm sure he will really appreciate yours and everyone's kind words. That point about a reputable doctor, I cannot agree enough. That's one thing I've really struggled with, because even if she provided medical documents, at this point I'd want to call and confirm it. She's madly gone off the deep end of anti-DR/anti-hospital. I do think she would lie if it meant getting her way. Once my husband comes home from work soon, I'm gonna give him a chance to peruse the comments here. I'm sure he will really appreciate yours and everyone's kind words.